Yo. Windows down, it's Friday. Rudy Campos Jr., Derek Gervin, the sports answer. Let's ride! It's the Friday drive home, San Antonio flow. Rudy and Derek live on YouTube. Here we go, streaming online, podcast wherever you roam. NBA, NFL, Spurs, and hot takes. We on the zone. Powered by Salem, surround San Antonio.
Man, it feels like it's been forever, Derek, since we've been in here. We ended up taking a week off, and that's because I was in Katy or Houston, Texas last week. I said I was going to be practicing with Darren Fox and all them. Let's just say that I was the best player on the court when I was practicing with Wemby, Darren Fox, and those guys out there. Other than that, you been all right, man?
Yes, I think I'm doing okay. I'm looking at this, looking outside the city of San Antonio, the overview, I'll say. Yeah, it's fantastic.
With the since we're in the Salem Surround Studios, this would be kind of like a cool penthouse, right? I mean,
Yeah.
Looking over the city, you've got the airport on one side, the skyline on another side. I think I would make a perfect home at the Salem Surround Studio here.
I'm looking at the overview. When I went to Italy to play,
Yeah.
I went to Naples, Italy, right? So I had the condo, okay? And it's kind of like looking over the city like this. And I had the purple couch. When I got into my place and I saw the purple furniture, like Prince, I couldn't believe it. I guess that was my introduction. Welcome to Italy.
Welcome to Italy, man. I'm going to be honest. I've never gone overseas. I never will go overseas. I can't. I'm terrified. I'm, a quadrillion miles away from home, and I don't know what could happen, Derek.
But are you more terrified of the flight or the purple couch?
I'm terrified of everything from the flight to when I get there, and then the flight on the way home. It's just too much for me. I'm getting anxiety right now thinking about it.
Hey, well, if you look at it right now, what are the Spurs doing? Didn't they fly over to hang out with their buddy over in France?
They did, but they make a lot more money than I do, so I'd have to fly in one of those iron planes with the chickens in the back and, one seatbelt, and you have to pay the extra $200 to get the one seatbelt. That's how much I can afford. But I'll tell you what, one thing that people can't afford, and that's Navarro Roofing, man. Obviously, they are a family-owned and operated since 1968. 210-680-5070. Navarro Roofing. They welcome insurance claims. We are in a city where hailstorms happen. We get freak weather here. And Navarro Roofing is going to be the only and the first call that you're going to make to get that roofing repaired. Again, it's Navarro Roofing, 210-680-5070. Plus, we got to give a shout out to Salem Surround, man. 210-526-3635. The digital marketing needs you need. You need to be branded. You need to be number one. You need to be the world champ. It's Salem Surround. Contact them today. Both sponsors of us here on the Sports Answer. We've got questions, and you know what? We've also got the Sports Answer, Derek. I want to kick it off because we've got 76er talk. We're going to get into that here. But we got to kick it off with what's going on in San Antonio, and of course, this is going to be Cheesemate time.
So, like, I hear about the Spurs this y Spurs that, y como que esto y esta, pero I never hear about the real Spurs chisme. Dime, por favor.
As you can see, our good buddy Jeff Garcia from Spurs in Focus, which you can catch on Answer Now TV by subscribing there. Project Marvel, Derek. So the fans, the county voted, said, hey, thumbs up. We're going to build a brand new arena. We're going to be, be brought into the now times of the NBA. We're not going to go Steve Ballmer and, get all this, hoopla and stuff, but we are going to get a sports and entertainment district. Something that puts an arena, it updates the Alamo Dome, could be another concert venue. We're going to see the San Antonio Missions even come downtown. Everything was squared away. Now, before the whole Mayor Gina Jones-Ortiz thing happened this week, there's been talk. Well, there's talk that, hey, we can't do a hotel after all. It's more than likely going to be scrapped. We can't do the land bridge that was going to go from the arena to the Alamo Dome. Now CPS can't relocate that area, that whole district center that's downtown. So now you've got people thinking, well, what exactly is going to happen? So now Mayor Jones-Ortiz says, hey, you know what? We've got $150 million deficit, for the budget. We got to make up this. We got to do this. We got to do that. It's a big mess is what it is. Now she wants to put all this back on the proposal by August 17th and get everybody to vote again on this entire Project Marvel thing. Facts are this. The money coming out for the budget has nothing to do with Project Marvel. Project Marvel is just a state-funded type thing. So the money's there. It doesn't come out of taxpayers' dollars. It doesn't come out of their pockets. Nothing like that. The simple question, and we can get into more details a little bit, is does the mayor really hate the Spurs? Because past mayors have wanted more sports teams here. Every mayor has fought for one, but this mayor seems to be opposing sports.
Wow, that's weird. And then we're talking about in the city of San Antonio. I don't know, but I know right now they have a word that they use today that I'm sure a lot of San Antonians are using when they call the word hater for the mayor. Come on, mayor. We've got to make this happen. A lot of times negativity happens when there's something good that's abound, something good going to happen, but a lot of times you weren't a part of that, if that makes sense. You didn't have anything to do with the ideas or any of that. And so it's kind of like you're not getting your shine. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah.
And that could be at the end of the day, she's a mayor, but she's still a human being.
Yeah.
And so sometimes people just don't, they don't want to get on board, I'll say. And then you have to kind of win them over. And when you start talking about this Project Marvel, I think it's fantastic, right? Because you look at all the opportunities it brings around the city. We're talking about employment as well.
Yeah.
This is a lot bigger than just basketball. A lot of different things can happen. It opens up a lot of avenues, even when you look down like in the St. Paul Square area.
Yeah.
There's going to continue to be growth here. And the Spurs, at this time, 2026, you got to keep up with the Joneses. The younger people might not know that term, but the older people do when they talk about keeping up with the Joneses.
Yeah.
We're trying to expand and growth. And this is the time. What better time than now? We got Victor Wembanyama here. We got Dylan Harper and all these guys. We've got a great product here. And the Spurs have continued to rise above, I'll say, right? The fans, we know how they feel about the Spurs. I've been here 44 years, so no one can convince me otherwise. I hope this ends up working out. I know that it will.
Yeah.
But I just don't want to see the mayor become an enemy of a lot of people here in San Antonio.
I think we're already past that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to take some of that pressure off her, man, because we know how people can be when they're passionate about their team and they're passionate about their city. Yeah. So this will work out, but mayor, you gotta get on board. It's time. Change is not always bad, and right now I'm excited about Project Marvel, and I can't wait till it happens, and it will happen.
So she's already made it clear, Derek. She's had a meeting. I believe it was yesterday. Then today she's had meetings, and she's got a perfect audience because she's having them at senior centers. Now, my biggest pushback was she knows her target audience because at the meeting yesterday, there was a lady that said, you know what, I do want to revote on this. There's a two-word phrase that's being said and thrown around, and it's property tax. So those two words being thrown around is scaring the people, the older generation, into thinking Project Marvel is going to raise property taxes. I don't want it. I can't afford it. I have a mom that, lives on a fixed income, so she can't afford property taxes. But
that's false.
But it's a false thing. So that's where I think she's trying to play the scare tactic, is the fact that let me throw in these words that have nothing to do with Project Marvel to get it back on the ballot. But what she doesn't she understands it, but she needs the confidence of city council to put it back on the ballot. And right now, I don't even know if one or two people on city council even agree or like the mayor. They're kind of at war with her on a daily basis on everything. So she completely said if it doesn't get back on the ballot, she'll leave it alone and it's over with. But why go this far? In other words, what is the point of trying to use a scare tactic to get the public on your side, knowing that you don't have the council on your side? You need them first before you put anything on a ballot. But the biggest thing is we see what's going on in Portland. If you're that, and you got to put up, I think the mayor's 4-year term, if I'm not mistaken. If you see what's going on in Portland and you're pushing this team to the brink, and say whatever reason the miracle happens and it gets back on the ballot and then it dies out. I mean, it's not going to happen, but say it does get on a ballot and the arena goes away, San Antonio's done for. Not for the Spurs only, but for sports in general. That is a black mark of death right there.
I just can't even envision that happening. And they can talk and talk and talk. So she's got 10 days. She's got a lot to make happen in these next 10 days.
Yeah.
But I think the Spurs are going to be okay. But, I mean, if you look at all the positives it brings, everything that you bring up in life, sometimes they're going to be, you can always find something negative, right?
Yeah.
But when the positive outweighs the negative by miles and miles, you have to make it happen. And I think right now, man, people are so excited. Even when you walk around the downtown area, you can see people basically, like looking around, envisioning what it's going to look like in the very near future. And we're in the technology era, man. This is right. We move first. We're in the 21st century. The name is perfect. Project Marvel. Just the name alone is intriguing.
Yeah.
And I can't wait to see it come to fruition. I can't wait. I'm excited.
So am I. It's going to happen. We talk about this because we're not a radio show that is going to put the scare and come combatant and everything. We're putting it in perspective, man. It's going to happen. We know it's going to happen.
It's going to happen.
The Spurs are not going anywhere. They're not, as Derek said before the show, they're not going to El Paso. They're not going to be the El Paso Spurs. They're not going to be the Austin Spurs. I mean, there's really nowhere they're going to go. It's going to pass. Everything's going to be fine. There's no doubt about it in my mind. I just think my biggest thing is, why are you giving this team so much grief? They're nothing but positive. But then I look at it on the other side of things, Derek. You're fighting San Antonio, the Spurs organization. But if you're trying to get your city onto another level, you should be going after bigger companies in general to add jobs that would bring more money into San Antonio rather than fight reasons, on the table that are going to bring money already.
But you also have to be more transparent, more honest with the people.
Yeah.
The people deserve to hear what's really going on. We always hear, people do things. They don't always tell you the whole story, right?
Yeah.
We don't know. I don't even know, is she sports oriented?
I don't know.
So I'm just saying, there's a lot of questions. But at the end of the day, the Spurs are going to prevail. The city of San Antonio is bigger than any mayor. I'm just saying.
Well, yeah.
It's going to happen, and it's going to be exciting to see.
Well, I know she's sports oriented to the point where she got free tickets to the playoffs or the finals, and she was also on Inside the NBA with Chuck and
Well,
Kenny.
pretty soon they could also turn that behavior into Brian Wright and those guys. They start acting like James Dolan, and she's not allowed in the building. I mean, come on now. You can't mess with the Spurs. We saw even when the championship series, right?
Yeah.
Even when they lost at the end, when the series was complete, Spurs fans are Spurs fans.
Yeah.
And they're looking at the future. And all with Victor Wembanyama here, we want all the most positive things. We have to win Victor over. And for me, that's one of the main reasons that I know this is going to happen. That if you had here, I'm going to be honest, and this is not to hurt any feelings. Look at my hands, Rudy.
Yeah.
So I got the mayor, and I got Victor Wembanyama. Which side do you think the fans, the city of San Antonio, is going to side with at the end of the day?
It's Victor.
Well,
I mean, you don't have to worry about hurting any feelings here. We can't hurt her feelings
I don't wanna
more
hurt
than
her
what
okay.
already is being hurt. I mean, if you listen to some of the people talking around town, Derek, you and I are legitimately priests when it comes to, saying positive things about her, because there's a lot of negative going on for Mayor Gina Jones-Ortiz. But, you're right. At the end of the day, it's going to happen.
She just happened to be the mayor at this time that came along at this time. So it could have been, if it wasn't her, it'd be someone else. I'm not saying they would have the same outlook that she has.
Yeah.
But she's got a tough decision either way, and so I just want people to give her some kind of grace. She's just doing her job.
Well,
and this is what it entails sometimes.
She did say, if I'm not mistaken, talking to Jeff from Spurs in Focus, she did say something to the point of, I'm doing this because future mayors will look back and see that I attempted to make this happen and I made the, like she wants to take credit for it. And I'm like, I don't think any mayor will look back and say you did a great job at that. I think every mayor will think, I'm glad you didn't run them off.
Lila Cockrell's, why? Oh, okay.
Oh man, but yeah, like we said, Project Marvel it's going to happen. It's going to be built. There's no reason there. I don't know why. She's trying to put a stamp on, make her name for something, and it just so happens to be against the San Antonio Spurs. I have no idea. One idea that I do have that's coming up for more Spurs cheeseman, Derek, is the NBA's obviously they're releasing, ahead of time votes, and the person that obviously is number one in the MVP voting, and we're going to bring up, you see big Nikola Jokic there. This is the first graphic that I found, but Victor is the odds-on favorite to be your NBA MVP next season, followed by SGA, then followed by Joker. The typical three that we've had, last year, for sure. Now, I had some pushback. I said I can understand. I could see him winning MVP, just not next year. I think it's a couple years away from him winning MVP. I don't see Shea winning MVP at all. I can't see a three-peat winner for MVP. I don't see that. But I don't know if I'm sold on Victor being the odds-on favorite and the word was landslide MVP candidate. I don't see that.
I don't see that either. And here's the saddest part out of that, Rudy. You just named Jokic, Victor, and Shea, right?
Yeah.
So say neither of those three get the MVP. Who would be the fourth guy in line?
I mean, you got Tatum, you got Luka.
No, Luka, you just said it,
Yeah.
but I know you putting Luka's name before Tatum. Yeah. So either way, we still looking at going into this year being possibly the 9th year in a row of having no American MVP.
That's true.
So for that purpose, I'm a little sad. Now, as far as this landslide, Victor being a landslide, did Shea Gill just leave the league?
No.
Did he retire? Did Jokic retire?
No.
You got Giannis coming back, Tatum coming back, healthy. I can't see. I can see Victor being the favorite, but landslide, I can't see that, and especially when you got Dylan Harper still coming into his own. That must mean Victor's going to really, really be a beast defensively. We know that part.
That's a guarantee.
But the offensive part, man, I can't slight those other guys like that. You got Anthony Edwards out there. You got too many names. You still got LeBron going to Philly. Still got Jaylen Brown. You got Steph Curry, who's not retired. Kevin Durant. There's so many names.
I even see Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, so I'm just saying, as far as being a landslide, that's total disrespect to all of these players, these superstars. I can see Victor being the favorite, but landslide, that's ludicrous.
That to me, that is ludicrous. Now, putting him as MVP favored, you know what? I can agree with that. I mean, he's going to be the favorite. The Spurs are going to be probably. I have him as the only team possible to win 60 games next year. Eastern Conference, I don't have anybody in the East. We'll get to that in a little bit. I don't have anybody in the East winning 60 games in the Eastern Conference. Detroit won it last year. I don't see anybody doing that this year. The West, I can see one. I don't even know if I can get a second team at 60 wins in the West. But when it comes to MVP, I mean, right now, Wemby's going to be the odds-on favorite. But he's going to have to play more minutes than just 29 minutes a game for me to even consider it. And people said, well, he's also got to average 30 points. He's not averaging 30 points unless he plays in the paint, and that's not going to happen.
I got to say this about three guys when we talking MVP, right? We talking about healthy.
Yeah.
So if you go into this season, you got Wemby, and then you got a healthy Jokic, right?
Yeah.
You got a healthy Giannis. That right there makes it not a landslide.
No.
When you got those two guys, and then you still got Shea Butter. I'm just saying, Shea is trying to atone for last season.
Yeah.
It's going to be interesting. I would like to see Victor get the MVP, but do we even know, honestly, at the pace that the Spurs are playing? And I looked at it recently. I watched them defensively in the Knicks. I pulled up some of that Knicks series and just watching how much Victor has to run around. We got questions. First of all, will he play over 30 minutes this coming season?
Nah.
And at that pace, the way they use him, how valuable will he be down near when we go down towards the playoff stretch? So I can't, for that reason alone. And then 7'5", right, with the lanky body, we still don't know how it's going to end up panning out, how his body's going to end up next 3 or 4 years. He has to show me still a little more. I'm not anointing Victor because if you look at it, they anointed him this year, right? Yeah. It was basically once they got to the playoffs, people started leaning towards who? The Spurs. Yeah. They beat OKC 3-1 or 4-1, right? Yeah. People basically started giving them the championship because of Victor. So Victor, they showed that Victor can be defeated as well. And people have to remember this as well. When Victor played overseas, they didn't win the championship.
No.
So I can't just anoint him. I love his game and where we're headed, but he's still got a little more to show before you can just come out and just definitively say he's going to be the MVP of the NBA.
Yeah, and it's, it's odd makers talking. They're the ones that are putting the, the numbers on it, the odds on it. And odds on favorite, I would say he's odds on favorite. He's not the landslide odds on favorite to win MVP. But, it's funny because you and I are the only guys that ever mentioned this on any podcast or radio show. When we asked, is this Victor's only max deal? It possibly could because you're talking year 8, year 9 of Victor when it's done. So we have to see these next couple of years. If he comes out this year, guns a-blazing, he's averaging 27, 12, and 4, and then maybe like 4 assists to go with it. Yeah, that's great numbers. I think, but where I think is the difference is he's doing that kind of statistical career for season this year, but it's going to take the Spurs to be the overall number 1 seed in the NBA. He's got to have that buffer to help him out.
You see my face because you know me.
I love
so, okay. So if we did a poll of 100,000 people in San Antonio, right?
They should all know Victor.
Now, 100,000. But here's the poll.
All right.
Right now, after the playoffs, that would have even been a better time to ask, like the week after the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right now, we talking about Victor being the landslide MVP, okay? In San Antonio, right now, today, August 7th, 2026, if our poll is 100,000 people, how many would say Victor's the franchise? And then how many would say Dylan Harper? I'm just saying, so there's still questions.
You brought him up, yeah.
People talk very, 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 very highly of Dylan Harper. Is Victor even going to be, as we go down to get more acclimated with this roster, is he even going to be the first option?
You're the only one that's ever asked that. And
I'm just saying, because if you look at Kareem and Magic, right?
Yeah.
We know who was the first option. Kareem, Magic is making things happen, but in the half-court game, he's getting the ball to Kareem, right? But they shared the spotlight, didn't they?
Yeah.
With Shaq and Kobe. Didn't they share the spotlight?
They did.
So that takes some of the limelight away from one of the guys as far as exceeding. The Lakers, Shaq got MVP, the 3 years in a row, but they won the finals.
Yeah.
But when you got two guys like that at that level and the progression we're expecting Dylan Harper to make, is there a guarantee Victor's even going to be the shining star here? I'm just saying.
I know I've said no in the past. I mean, as great of a player as Victor Wembanyama is, if you're a basketball head and you know some little bits and pieces of the game, which you know a lot more than I know, but there's more to Dylan's game that makes him a true number 1 than there is in Victor's.
Okay.
Victor is the most dominant defensive player. I'll give him that.
On the other end of the floor, though. Yeah.
But there's two sides of the game.
And
There's
then you throw in
defense and offense.
and then you throw in this Castle, who's continuing to try to get better as well. All these guys today are playing for these max deals. People can say the object is to win first. We're just being real, right?
100%.
But the object now is to get what, 2 or 3 max deals
Yeah.
over
they
the
call
course
it a
of your
career.
career.
Whether you win a title or
Whether
not.
you win a title or not.
Doesn't matter.
So you got guys like James Harden, who's made over $400 million, right? So the object is to win, but to secure your family, financial literacy and all of that stuff, right?
Yeah.
But still, going back to these 2 players, we got 2 keepers, and we still honestly don't know. Victor has some shortcomings offensively, doesn't he?
Yeah.
We still want him to get into the paint more, on the block more. So there's still some things he's got to work on. So if Dylan Harper comes out and has a Tyrese Maxey breakout type of season, then what? So that takes away some of Victor's MVP votes right there, doesn't it?
So then we'll let everybody, we'll have our great producer, Shemaya, bring up all the clips from when we were talking months ago about how Dylan Harper is going to end up being the number 1 over Victor when it's all said and done. We said it months ago, and people were like, you're crazy. You're crazy. Victor Wembanyama is the franchise guy for the Spurs. He's going to be the face of the league. Hold on. We didn't say it would be tomorrow. We didn't say it'd be 2 weeks from now. We said eventually it's going to show that Dylan Harper is a better player than Victor at the end of the day.
I think really if you look at Harper, when he played in college, he played more. He was a scorer as well, right?
Yeah.
So I told you I still see him with the 2-guard mentality. But I think he has the capability of being a guy that could be a superstar at the point guard.
Yeah.
So we still have to figure out what is going to be his position moving forward. Because I questioned sometime last year, I thought they might have put a little too much pressure on him as far as handling the ball. And of course, it didn't help when you got Castle with 10 turnovers, 10 so. But we're still watching the progression of Victor. We're still watching the progression of Dylan Harper. But just having a Dylan Harper on the team, just him alone, I ain't even have to talk about Jokic and all those guys.
Yeah.
Just having Dylan right there tells me right away, Victor can't be a landslide leader for the MVP.
So before we get off the MVP talk and the NBA talk, because we're going to jump over to some WNBA topics, and then we got our NFL topic, then the 76ers talk that we're going to get into as well here. MVP looking next year. Now, obviously, like we mentioned, Victor's going to be the odds-on favorite. Not for me, not a landslide, but the odds-on favorite. There's going to be more growth from San Antonio with Tobias Harris. I think with that signing, before him, I had 58 wins, 57 wins. After Tobias, I'm at 60, 61 wins for them. They're the only team that I think gets to 60 wins next season. Two-part question. First question is, who's the sleeper for you to win MVP going into next season? I'm going to give you mine first. For me, I really, really do like Donovan Mitchell to be considered, that out of nowhere, that Cade Cunningham guy from last year who was in the MVP talk for pretty much all the whole year until he got injured. I've got Donovan Mitchell as just bolting up the ladder of MVP talk going into next season. And probably toward the end of the season, he should be in the top 4, I would think.
I have the same guy, and it's not a surprise. I mean, every year he's right there. They say he's going to win the MVP, and I know eventually he's going to win one. And how ironic would it be the year he wins it is the year LeBron leaves?
Luka?
Yeah, I have to go with Luka. I think the Lakers are going to be better than people think. And I just think I've already seen Luka working out and all of that.
Yeah.
So he's still, I think LeBron had something to do with that as far as him changing his routine.
Yeah.
And so I think Luka, right, going into the year, I would think for me, we are talking about the guy that averaged, 33, 8, and 8 last year?
Yeah.
So, yeah, that would be my pick, and I don't think that would be a surprise pick. Hell, I got to start off with Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Luka for you, Donovan Mitchell for me. Wemby wins MVP, I wouldn't be shocked, but I would be like, okay. I mean, he's going to have a way better year than what he had this year. And even this year, he finished third, right? Behind SGA and Joker. Not only that, Joker, I mean, you're talking about a Denver team that was injured for majority of the year. So now they're coming back completely healthy. This is a Denver team that you and I looked at like they could potentially make noise in the Western Conference, but they were injured all year, so they didn't. Now they come back next year. You could see a big-time performance from Joker all season long.
Yeah, I expect him to definitely have a comeback season. Isn't that crazy? I'm saying a comeback season.
Yeah, he just came off of another triple-double year, but he's going to have a comeback season.
The expectations are pretty high, man. I mean, he looked kind of fatigued at the end of the season.
Yeah, I do.
And then I don't know if I'm sold on, I see Watson just got a new deal.
Yeah.
$87 million or something like that, I believe. You still got Christian Brown and those guys. I don't know. Man, Jokic, you talking about a guy. Is he, what do they call it now about the voter fatigue? Is he going to be going into the season facing that? Is Shea going to face the voter fatigue? Because you mentioned it a little earlier.
I think so.
When are we going to get over the voter fatigue and just start giving the guys the MVP that deserve the MVP?
I don't care if you're the best player for 6 years in a row and you win 6 MVPs in a row. If you earned it and you deserve it, you deserve it.
Now, I have to put this in there, though, because the 1 year that people felt Jokic really got robbed, and I'm not talking about this past season with Shea, the Embiid year, I thought Embiid earned it.
He did.
So I don't think that they robbed. If any, it could have been at best for Jokic, it could have been a co-MVP, but at no point did they rob Embiid because people go back and look. Joel Embiid had a monster year. Didn't he score 70 points against the Spurs?
Yeah.
So it's not like it was right on Victor mainly. So it's not like his MVP was a fluke season.
It wasn't. And what a great transition this is, man. We're going to get into some 76ers talk before we head into our first and only commercial break. Let's break it down, Derek. All right, as you can see up on the screen, I need to probably bring it up. I got actually kicked out of the studio, man. I got to get back in the studio here. 76ers talk. Now, of course, we've got, LeBron James there, Tyrese Maxey, Joel Embiid, Jaylen Brown, VJ Edgecombe, everybody there, no matter what. Loving it. Yeah, they have no bench. They got no bench whatsoever. And as far as the graphics goes, I'm sorry, the graphic that I've got it's gone. I accidentally deleted it. But when it comes to the Sixers, Derek, right now, I don't have them winning. I don't even have them winning 60 games. I think I've got 55 games, 54 games for the 76ers. No bench right now. You've got so many mouths to feed when it comes to Philadelphia. You've got, Jaylen Brown, who is coming into this season wanting to prove that he's out of Tatum's shadow, that he's going to be the man. You've got Joel Embiid, when healthy, is going to demand the basketball at all time. You've got Tyrese Maxey, who doesn't want to step aside because he's already at that All-NBA level. Then you got another kid, VJ Edgecombe, who, like you mentioned, doesn't want to take a step back coming off of the rookie year that he had. And then, of course, you've got one other guy that they decided to sign. And, he's pretty good from what I understand. He's considered one of the GOATs of the NBA. And that is, of course, LeBron James, as you hear him. This team on paper looks good. But last time I checked, the Larry O'Brien trophy is not made of paper. It's not a good fit if you think about it.
Well, if things don't go well, they have something already in their favor. They do have a nurse on their bench, so we'll see how that pans out. You didn't catch that one, huh?
The nurse.
Yeah.
I caught it.
So if they get a little ill,
I'm a little smart.
They can catch. I don't know if the fans caught that one, but look, man. On a serious note, if you look at the lineup, just the five, for me, it's unquestionably already the best five that's ever been put on paper on one lineup. But you have to see how the chemistry, how it pans out. Because if you look at the team, I've watched some of these guys talk. Who are the guys? Some of them from Michael Beasley and them the show with Gilbert Arenas' old show.
Okay.
And then you got Emmanuel Acho and all these guys. So I've seen some of these podcasts, and a lot of people are thinking that just one player on this team is going to have to take a back seat. I disagree. They're going to have to at least be two players that take a back seat because there's only one basketball. And the thing that worries me the most about Philly is Jaylen Brown still has something to play for. We talking about individually.
Yeah.
He still wants to show people that last year was not a fluke. You got Joel Embiid coming back off of his injuries, and he's been reading how people are writing him off. And then they come out with this rumor the other day about this might be his last season and all that. So then you got Brown. We know he wants to prove. You got Tyrese Maxey, who just had an outstanding All-Star year, or come out breakout year.
Yeah.
And then he's got this new contract that he's eligible for if he were to make an All-NBA team in the next 2 years. The people know if he makes an All-NBA team, and that doesn't have to be first or second team, it can be third team, that he's eligible for a 5-year, I believe it's $379 million.
So another $60 million on the books.
No. And then you got the guy who could have been Rookie of the Year if it wasn't for Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg, VJ Edgecombe.
Yeah.
So now you're looking at who's going to be the guy to sacrifice. Right now, it's kind of hard. I have to go back 10 years for LeBron, okay? 10 years ago, we were dealing with guys like Kyle Kuzma, Brandon Ingram, guys like that with the Lakers, right? And that didn't – Josh Hart. I can't leave out Josh Hart. That didn't pan out so well, right?
Nope.
Now, 10 years we move forward, LeBron being in year 24. Now you got guys that are better players than those guys he had with the Lakers. You're talking about Edgecombe and these guys. If anybody takes the back seat, for me, automatically, wouldn't LeBron be one of them?
Should be.
I'm just saying.
Should be.
Because I got these young dogs. I can't pull them back. The process haven't worked, man. Come on now. We talking about the team that drafted me. Philadelphia 76ers. I'm so tired of hearing about the process. But automatically, someone has to take a back seat. Joel Embiid is tired of being told he's done. All those guys have something to play for individually before we even start talking about putting them together as a team.
Yeah.
So that's not going to be an easy transition. Brown going from Boston to Philly, staying in the Eastern Conference, same division he's in. Yeah. That's crazy. So you got to deal with that. You got LeBron still want to show people, hey, man, I'm getting ring number 5. If nothing else, I'm at least getting number 5. Maxey's saying, like, look, man, yeah, I love you guys, but I got a chance to make about $76, $77 million a year. We just talking about human nature.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown, $60.8 million deal is going to kick in. These are all things we have to deal with before we even talk about setting up one play in practice. So for that reason alone, when I look at all these teams that already basically are set, if you look at OKC right now, they already know what they're stepping into, right? Yeah. They're getting A.J. Mitchell back, a healthy A.J. and Jalen Williams. Spurs, you already pretty much know where they're headed. You're looking at Tobias Harris comes in. So they only have to make a few adjustments. You go to the teams in the East that you mentioned. They don't have to make as many adjustments. Philly is a big old capital I, capital F right now. People can talk as positive they want. Oh, yeah. They're a big old if right now.
They are. I mean, you mentioned everything. You don't want Max. He's not going to take a back seat, knowing how much money he will leave on the table if he does. He's already at that All-NBA level. You mentioned Jaylen Brown, something to prove. He's going to want to be the spotlight. He wants that spotlight on him. He wants to prove everybody, I'm here. I don't need Tatum. I don't need the Celtics. I'm going to win a title here. Joel Embiid, I've written him off for years because you get the greatness of Joel Embiid, but then,
Mr. Helicopter. Yeah.
He goes for 70 one night, and then he goes to CVS the next night to get the Band-Aids and everything, all the painkillers that he needs to get. So then he's out for a while, so he's going to have stuff to prove. VJ Edgecombe, another one. He's coming off of a rookie year, knowing that he needs to continue to improve to get a nice max deal after the rookie deal. And then you can say LeBron takes a backseat. We can all say, you know what? Hey, Bron, you can average your 8 points, 6 assists, but he's not, because he has something that nobody else has, and that's a film crew following him his entire season in Philly. So do you think you want to have a Netflix special where you're averaging 8 points a game, 4 rebounds a game, taking a back seat? No. LeBron wants to put on that Netflix special because he wants to go out like the last dance in Michael Jordan. So Philadelphia, as much as you have a great team on paper, and as much as I love, that Derek said, yes, they have probably the best starting 5.
No,
You said the best starting 5.
No, but hold on, right on it. See, perfect timing.
There you go.
Because I have to throw it, as we talk about the best 5. And I like to be the first to say things, right?
Always.
How many people have you heard talking about, didn't Joel Embiid say he's going to play only every other game?
Yeah.
Didn't he say he's never playing back-to-back again?
He did.
I know, I remember that. You haven't heard the reporters, the media talking about that, have they?
Nope.
So that just adds one more element to all the things we're talking about. We got a man that still wants to be relevant that said he's not. Hey, it kind of reminded me of the story I told you real quick about Sam Bowie when he was playing against Mark West. And I told you how Mark West was playing him so physical.
Yeah.
And so Sam said, hey, Gerb, come here, let me tell you something. I ain't never going in the paint again. He said, the rest of my career, I'm just going to shoot jump shots. He said, you tell Bill Fitch, I'm never going in the paint again. So that's kind of how I feel. And so Embiid, we got to figure out, is he even going to be there for 50 or 60 games?
I've already said it before. I don't think he goes the entire season as a Sixer.
Then that takes them out of being one of the favorites. They're not winning without Joel Embiid.
They're not winning with Joel Embiid. I mean, there's no way. Then they talk Klay Thompson is going to get a buyout. And then Klay wants to go to Philly. Again, on paper, it's Klay Thompson. But when you look at the constructive things, it makes no sense. What is Klay going to do? He's not going to go back, in time when his Warrior days, when he was a really good shooter and he was a difference maker. Now he wants to come in and play a Ray Allen role for when he was with Miami. No, it ain't gonna happen. This Philadelphia, you need to concentrate on getting a really deep bench more than anything, because I guarantee you Embiid's not playing 82 games. He's not getting to 70 games probably. I guarantee you LeBron is gonna rest a little bit. He's not gonna play a full season. I'm really truly to expect that. Not only that, you're gonna have hurt feelings somewhere in that starting 5. It's gonna happen. Someone's gonna be hurt.
It's when they don't. It's like if they were to go on a 2 or 3 game losing streak.
Yeah.
That's when Nick Nurse is going to be tested at some point this year. Even with Kevin Durant with Golden State, it was a challenge for Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
You don't just wake up and just roll out a championship. There are things you have to do over the course of the year to make it happen. So Nick Nurse has got a really tough job. I know Bob Myers is going to kind of help take some of the pressure off. But even with Bob Myers, it's another element of pressure because he's used to winning, right? And for him to sell LeBron on going to Philly, that means LeBron really, 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 really believes that this gives him the best opportunity to win a championship. I look at this roster, those 5, this is the best, this is the most talent he's had. I like Ilgauskas and all those guys back in Cleveland.
I give you a thumbs up on that.
But this is the most talent he's had, so for them to Bob Myers convince him to go there, it's going to be interesting to watch.
Before we go to our first and only commercial break, Derek Gervin, Rudy Campos Jr., Answer Now TV, give me a win total for this team.
I'm gonna say 56-26.
56-26. You got them at 56 wins.
Yeah.
Okay. I've got them, like I said, about 55, 56 is what I've got them. I even see on the low end 54.
I got them at 56. I got Boston at 55-27.
It's going to be close.
Yeah.
No team in the East gets to 60. I'm saying it right now. You've got too many good teams in the Eastern Conference to anyone get this 60 wins.
Knicks go 52-30. The only team that's capable, I think, I would put Cleveland in there as far as the team that's capable of winning 60, because Cleveland seems to play well during the season.
That's true.
Their problem comes playoff time. So I could see if anybody wins 60 in the East, I could see Cleveland being up there. And if that happens, then, of course, that puts your Donovan Mitchell in the MVP conversation. But that's the only way that he'll be in the conversation. They have to have the best record in the league.
I agree with that, man. No one in the East, I think, gets to 60 wins. Derek mentioned Cleveland possibly. That possibly could happen. I think I've got Cleveland. At the end of the day, I might have Cleveland number 1 or 2 in the Eastern Conference at the end of the day. We got more basketball talk to come up in many future shows. We got some NFL talk coming up right after the commercial break. Plus, Derek was getting some WNBA talk. He had a really good breakdown about Caitlin Clark, and Caitlin must have been listening, because right on cue, your breakdown of Caitlin Clark, she heard you.
Don't do that.
I did it. This is Derek Gerber, Rudy Campos, Jr., the Sports Answer. We'll be back. A word from our sponsors.
Can I help you?
Yes, madam. I'm a roofing contractor, and I'm giving out 3 estimates to lucky homeowners today. Would you like one?
Nancy, don't do it!
Wait, who said that?
Up here, Nancy! I'm your roof! Be careful, that guy is not a roofer!
Yes, I am. And I have a brand new shining ladder to prove it.
Well, where's your ladder?
Right there in my truck. The one with the Michigan license plate.
Nancy, why don't you call Navarro Roofing? They're the ones who replaced me last time. They have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau, and they've been in business since 1968.
I remember my dad used them to replace our roof when I was just a kid. I'm going to call Navarro Roofing. Besides, they did my neighbor's house, and it looks amazing. And the cleanup was excellent.
Before you let anyone talk you into a good deal, call the Chamber of Commerce and see if they're actually local. Navarro Roofing is local and supports our local business.
That's the best call I ever made. Thanks, Roof.
Don't trust out-of-state storm chasers. Trust the name Texas has relied on for generations. Call Navarro Roofing today at 210-680-5070 or visit navarrosroofing.com.
Looking for the inside track on the silver and black? From deep dive analysis to breaking news on Wemby and the squad, get it all at Spurs in Focus. Join veteran beat writer Jeff Garcia for the ultimate one-stop spot for all things San Antonio Spurs. Subscribe now at spursinfocus.substack.com.
Billboards, gas stations, gyms, grocery stores, and more.
Salem Media puts your brand in front of San Antonio wherever life takes them.
Call 210-526-3626. Call 210-526-3626 and get noticed.
You know your business inside and out, but does your community? With Salem Media's podcast and video production services, you can share your expertise and connect with customers on their commute or wherever they listen. We handle production and distribution, so your content reaches the right ears on multiple podcast platforms. Stop letting competitors own the conversation. Call Salem Media today and ask about our local business podcast packages. Call Chris at 210-526-3631. 210-526-3631.
Welcome back to the Sports Answer, where you've got sports questions. We've got the sports answers. And let's give a quick shout out again. Navarro Roofing, 210-680-5070. Contact them today for all your roofing needs. They work with insurances. They're going to get your roof done the right way the first time. They are the only contact you need to make. 210-680-5070. Family owned and operated since 1968. Also, you are at the Salem Surround Studios. Shout out to Salem Surround, 210-526-3635. Digital and marketing needs, they are the best in the business. Your brand, your company will be shot to the moon, Alice, if you get that old reference from, what show was that? Godly.
My Old Honeymooners, my favorite
The
show.
Honeymooners,
Ralph
there you
Cramden.
go. That is Salem Surround Marketing for you, 210-526-3635, all sponsors of the Sports Answer. And you see the logo, so the WNBA logo. Now, I mean, we're going to keep it as basketball as possible, which you do. I know you do and all that, you know, but you had a breakdown video of Caitlin Clark's game, and we've talked recently. And I will say, when it comes to the Fever, I've made so many questions throughout the year when it came to coaching. At one point, I was like, Stephanie White shouldn't be the coach no more. She's usually control. I don't know what she's doing here. Lately, I've been okay. Well, yeah, I've seen what she's doing. She's not buying into a lot of the stuff. She's coaching. She's got probably the toughest job in coaching right now in basketball. You've also broken down, with Caitlin Clark. You and I have both said, I don't buy the Caitlin Clark hype as a player. She's a great player, but I don't find her as face of the league material. I don't find her, as the best basketball player in basketball, anything like that. I've made that always very clear. And, the team overall still lacks one position, and that is point guard. You and I talked about that earlier. So we can break all that down at some point, but you did a good breakdown on Caitlin Clark's game that you maybe want to elaborate here, because there are some basketball people out there that may see her like tremendous player, but she has more hiccups than anything else that a lot of people don't even know.
Well, and then some that don't want to know it, so you got to throw that in as well.
I'll give you that.
Caitlin's a very good player, okay? I won't even, for me, it's not superstar yet, because superstar means you're consistent.
Exactly.
And so she still can get better, but people think sometimes anytime you mention her, if you're not bowing down to her, you're being negative, okay? And I'm not going to be negative. The young lady has potential to be the face of the league. She's the face of the league as far as marketing, yes.
Yeah, I'll give you that.
She has the potential to be as a player, okay? But there's things she has to get better at. I talked about, she reminds me of LeBron James, and I told you this before. There's some players that are right-handed that prefer to go left.
Yeah.
And, she could step into that shot going left off that screen up at the top of the key.
Yeah.
And if you let her step into it, she's going to knock down a high percentage of those shots. The problem is when you make her go to the right. Once she goes to the right, she can't elevate and get over and jump over the shooter, over the defense and get her shots off. So a lot of times it causes her to put the ball on the ground. Mm-hmm. And if they can cut her off, she tries to make the home run. I'll call them the wraparound passes.
Yeah.
Where you're trying to throw the ball to someone cutting to the basket. And a lot of times that's Aaliyah Boston. But as you're doing that, you got, I'll call it like a suction cup. Because you're taught in basketball, if the ball moves to one side, the defense adjusts and they slide more towards that side, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times when she makes those passes, she's throwing them in the crowd. Yeah. And so she has to get better at faking that pass a lot of times and finding those shooters on the perimeter. So it's not that she's not a bad player. And then you got to look at this as well. I believe, and I've felt this way since she was in college, I believe she's more suited as a two-guard. Shooting guard.
Absolutely.
If you look at her and Kelsey Mitchell, both of them are pretty similar. It's no coincidence that right now they're number 2 and 3 or 2 and 4 in the league as far as scoring. Mm-hmm. And they're right there. I think Kelsey's averaging like 23 something and Caitlin's about 21.
Yeah.
So they both have the scoring mentality. Caitlin is a good passer, but she's more like a Luka Doncic passer. Luka's trying to get his game off first, right? And if he can't do that, he can distribute the ball very well, like last season. Mm-hmm. But mentally, what is Luka automatically?
Score.
You see him in the warm-ups. What is he practicing over there by the bench, working on his long-range three-pointers and step-backs and all that, right? Yeah. That's Caitlin Clark, okay? Mm-hmm. So she just has to learn to play, to make better decisions. The biggest issue is Stephanie White and the management moving forward. If they don't win the championship this year, they're going to be conversations because at some point you have to start thinking about breaking that team up.
Yeah.
You've tried with the Lexi Halls and, Sophie's and even brought in Raven Johnson. For whatever reason, she's not playing much now. And then you got Timmons they brought in and Billings. If you notice Timmons and Billings, since they've kind of risen as far as their minutes, what's happened to Lexi Hall? She's kind of disappeared the last month and a half, 2 months.
She hasn't been playing much.
Sophie Cunningham the other night had, one shot, 2 shots. Yeah. 1 shot or something. She made a 3-pointer. She had 3 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist. So I said months ago that when Caitlin takes a high volume of shots and you got Kelsey Mitchell, it hurts the rest of the players, and that includes Aaliyah Boston. If you put Caitlin at a 2-guard,
everything opens up.
Think about her on one side of the floor, Kelsey Mitchell on the other side of the floor, and you and I talked about it. You got Hannah her doggo.
That.
A point guard, another point guard, even a Chelsea Gray.
Yeah.
Distributing the ball. First of all, it keeps Kelsey fresher. It keeps Caitlin fresher, right? It takes Caitlin away from the ball. She can play more like a Steph Curry off the ball.
Yep.
Right now, I hear people saying Steph Curry, but really who's she playing like right now? More like Trae Young.
Yeah.
I would rather see her. That's who she's playing like.
Exactly.
I would rather see her play more like a Steph Curry, where she gives up the ball and then she's running around, and because she's good at that. She moves without the ball. And then when you catch the ball, she's not in a position where they can double team as quick.
Mm-hmm.
And so that also opens the floor up for Leah Boston, who can also step out to the three. And we know she's a beast in the paint.
Yeah.
It opens it up for Kelsey Mitchell. When Kelsey gets it, she gets an opportunity to go to work. If you watch now, most of Kelsey's moves are either from the wing out there or they're from the top, right? And it takes a lot of dribbling, a lot of energy, kind of like Jalen Brunson.
Yeah.
If you take the ball out of their hands and give them a point guard, like a Dylan Harper, like a Chris Paul, think how much more effective their team would be. So it's nothing negative about Caitlin. It's just the decisions they have to see what they're going to do moving forward if this doesn't happen. Because right now they got two players basically playing the same position, kind of like Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. Weren't they playing the same position basically before they finally won?
That's the perfect example there.
I'm just saying.
Identical type of player. I mean, you're trying to make both happy, and it's not going to work. And that's, you mentioned, I mean, Indiana Fever staff, everything. Do everything you can to get Hannah Hidalgo coming out next year. Hopefully she's coming out next year, but Hannah Hidalgo would be the perfect piece for the Indiana Fever because, again, point guard, very good basketball IQ, and she's quick. She can get to the basket. She can make the pass. She can put Caitlin and Mitchell in the perfect spot. She can make Aaliyah Boston's life so much easier.
Can I name another player?
Go ahead.
Because I love her. She was only a rookie this year.
Go ahead.
Last name, Hawkes.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Bring Hawkes in with Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell and Leah Boston.
Yeah.
You got a championship roster.
They're and that's what we said before we talked about the WNBA for Indiana. We said they are one piece away, and that's a point guard away.
Hawkes or Hidalgo. I love Hidalgo, but the size could be a problem.
The size is the only issue.
But right now, Hawkes,
I'm telling you. When are they going to allow you and I to run a team?
it's coming.
I mean, they got to allow us to run a team. Why don't we start slow? Why don't we put a CYO team together? Let's run that, and then we'll work our way up to a pro team.
No, man, we moving fast. Hell, let's give us a team. You and I are going to move to Brownsville or somewhere. We're going to yeah. What's another name we can come up with other than the Spurs?
That represents San Antonio?
Yeah, the Brownsville Armadillos.
I don't know. I don't know if that'll work. We should let everybody, the fans, name the team that you and I will take over. But needless to say, I mean, I think if they don't win the title this year, the WNBA is kind of hard to predict right now.
It's hard.
I mean, the Aces obviously are one of the teams, but a team that I've been kind of watching and a fan of since they became a WNBA team was Golden State. I like Golden State. But, I mean, there's so many good teams right now, and they're all vying for position. It's kind of hard to determine who's the odds-on favorite.
And aren't they doing 4 out of 7 in the finals now?
I believe so, yeah.
See, that's what – if they were just doing 2 out of 3,
yeah,
I would still take the Aces because of all the experience and then having Asia. But when you're talking 4 out of 7 and you got Nafisha Collier continuing to get in better shape, and she's played like 3 or 4 games now.
Olivia Miles MVP.
Yeah, so just saying, when it comes, it's like the NBA. And that's why I give the Fever a chance.
Yeah.
I just don't want to see them wear Caitlin and Kelsey Mitchell out these last 11, 12 games. And so it's going to be, I can't say right now that just definitively the Aces or Olivia Miles is going to lead Minnesota to the finals, right? Because no one's talking about does anyone even know who Gabby Williams is? Has anyone heard of the Golden State Valkyries?
I know I have.
Do people know that they're like 20-9 or 21-9, something like that?
Yeah, I know I have.
So they're like flying under the radar. They have a young lady on there, Gabby Williams, that I have in the top 5 MVP voting. So it's going to be interesting.
Even a player, and I'm gonna throw her out. I like a player like Caitlin Chen from Golden State.
She could shoot the ball too.
Oh, I loved her in college, and when she got drafted by Golden State, I'm like, sweet, man, I love it. But even her, as far as Indiana goes, again, a point guard with, the point guard mentality. They're just one player.
She's a point guard, and she can shoot that ball. Though.
Exactly. That's why I'm trying to get a rookie card of her, and I can't ever win it on eBay. Everybody keeps taking them away from me. Last thing we got to get into, Derek, and the last topic is actually we got 2 topics left, but the last topic that we do have is NFL talk. And the season kicked off last night. Hall of Fame game, Carolina Panthers against the Arizona Cardinals. I remember I texted a few people. I said, keep your eyes on Haynes King, undrafted rookie out of Georgia Tech. Coach Gio from our past shows and I were high on Georgia Tech with Haynes King last year. Proved last night why you should watch him. He's not going to take over for Bryce Young unless Bryce Young just completely just goes off the radar. But he ended up getting the game-winning touchdown, rushed it in, Carolina wins. We got some NFL talk, man. Super Bowl talk, and then I'm going to ask you about an MVP talk here. Let's get into the bumper. All right, on the screen, I know you really can't see the screen too much, but these are so far the odds-on favorites. The Los Angeles Rams are obviously the number 1 team favorite-wise. The Buffalo Bills are 2. I don't see the Bills being that high, but people are seeing stuff that I don't. Seattle is number 3. Baltimore and Kansas City round out the top 5. So only 2 NFC teams are predicted to be Super Bowl favors, because after that, the Chargers are after the Chiefs at 6. The Eagles are there. Then you got Patriots, 49ers, Broncos to round out like the top 10 or so.
Who was number 1?
Rams.
Okay.
To me, that is the most complete team. I hate to say this, when healthy.
Where are my Detroit Lions?
They're on there. The graphic was so small they didn't make it on the graphic.
Man, are you serious? I heard people talking about the Lions as one of the top 4 teams this season.
I have not seen that.
All right, well, you know me.
I'm not saying anything bad about it. I just haven't seen it.
Well, recently I heard about the watch out for that's the team, because you know how they always talk like we do. We talk about our favorites or our surprises.
Yeah.
So already I'm saying Detroit is in the, so y'all you make sure y'all remember this day, August 7th, 2026, when teams fly under the radar. Is a lot of times when they finally come through.
They don't even have Detroit as the best in the division.
Yeah, they didn't have the Knicks as the best in the division either last year. So okay.
I hear the gong on that. Okay, so NFC North, I think they've got Green Bay 1 and Chicago 2.
Yeah, they do.
If I'm not mistaken. And there's people saying that Minnesota.
They had the Lions 4th. I couldn't believe it.
I did see that.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
Last I heard, they lost David Montgomery, but is it because they lost all their coordinators a couple of years back?
I got them in the top 4 in the league. They hadn't heard have them top 4 in the division.
You and Shemaiah have y'all's Lions at high regard, where I have my Falcons at the bottom. I pray for a last place division.
This is last year was a transition year for us, wasn't it?
Yeah.
As far as the coaches.
Yeah, now you're going to really see how it works.
Now it's more, the guys are more familiar with what's going on, what they expect.
Yeah.
That Coach Campbell is ready, man, to get over the hump. It's onward and upward we go.
I think you're probably going to take, so we have to make our Super Bowl picks. We did it a while back, but I said I'd give you more time to think about it. I'm going to stick, and I have to say when healthy, I'm going to do the Super Bowl matchup. I originally went Rams, and I said AFC, I don't know. I was tossing the Texans in there. And then you were laughing. Then you called me that same night. Didn't they get David Montgomery? I said, yeah. Okay, I can see what you're saying now. Okay, maybe. Now, Buffalo, I love Buffalo, Derek, but I I don't think they have enough on the Buffalo side.
What's the Texans quarterback's name?
That's C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, I know. So you're giving CJ more credit basically than Josh. I'm starting to. I love Josh. You know, he's my favorite player in the league.
Yeah.
But if he has to make it happen this year.
Yeah.
He has to make it happen, or we starting to talk about basically him being Aaron Rodgers without even that one championship, though.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. So he has to make it happen. Them being rated number 2 right now, I wouldn't say that.
Was a favorites. Just as the
I know, but
favorites,
when there's people that's who are these people that's picking these favorites every year? That's what gets me. Why they never show these people? Half of them have never even seen. They don't even know what a football looks like. So I'm just being honest, man. They just rolling people out the bed, letting them pick who's going to win the championship. That's crazy.
Well, they got the Chargers at 6, and that's one team you and I talked about.
Justin Herbert, huh?
You know what? I believe in the Chargers this season a little bit more than I did last season because, again, you get another year Harbaugh. But they've made strides, I will say, in the offseason. But, again, you're talking about Drew Brees never won with the Chargers. Phillip Rivers never won with the Chargers. Herbert's on that same path. That's another guy where you're looking at,
now we're talking about making strides. Baskin Robbins has made strides. McDonald's, everybody. Well, we passed the making strides. We're at the situation now. Justin Herbert. Why do we allow people like Herbert, Joe Burrow? Why do we keep giving them a pass? We don't give Lamar Jackson a pass. I'm just being honest. At some point, you got to start seeing these guys for who they are, right? We're not still giving Aaron Rodgers a pass. I know some people want to blame his age, but he's still playing, right?
Yeah.
We don't get Kyler Murray and these guys a pass. At some point, you got to call it like it is. Herbert has to win this year. Joe Burrow has to win this year. Josh Allen, MVP, huh?
Yeah.
This is the year. I don't want to fall off the bandwagon, but Buffalo's starting to remind me of the Bills, the Jim Kelly days. I'm being honest. Yeah. Every year we got them at the top. Every year they're in the top 5, right? And then what happens? We always like Murphy's Law. Whatever can go wrong will.
Will go wrong.
They brought in running backs. We complained about that for 2, 3, 4 years, right? So they supposedly shore up the running back position. That doesn't work. The defense, they go out and get a few players on the defense to scramble around. That doesn't work. At some point, we got to start holding who's the main guy on that team, the most notoriety. Who gets the most notoriety?
Quarterback.
So at some point, we got to start holding Josh to the fire, and this is the year.
I think this is the prove it year, like you mentioned, for Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. He's won MVPs, but if he's not going to get it done in Baltimore, kind of got to start looking elsewhere.
Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott's another one. You mentioned Justin Herbert.
Looks like Baker Mayfield.
Baker's on his
they
way
treat
down,
Baker.
man.
And I got look. Couldn't I say this really quick?
Yeah.
Because I'm a guy that watched the video. We mature as we get older. So I'm the guy that watched the video when he was running from the police, and when he came out of college.
Yeah.
And then to see the maturation, what he's become now. He's a guy. It's amazing to me that they happen to they're balking at paying him the big money. He's been in the league, what now, 10 years?
I believe so, yeah.
He's earned his money. And so I had to give a shout out to him because I've become a Baker Mayfield fan.
He deserves the contract. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. And he did the mature thing. He said, if we don't get a deal done by this date, don't talk. We'll talk next season. He's mature about it. I think old school Baker would have been, I'm not playing. I'm not coming to camp. I don't care. I want a deal. Now he's matured. I don't have Tampa Bay as one of the better teams in the league this year. I don't even have them as the top team in that division, to be honest with you. But I think they're going to win some games, but Baker's always going to be professional, at least, for Tampa Bay. One team that's not on the list that I've actually am high on right now as the Cincinnati Bengals. I think a healthy Joe Burrow, they've got weapons there. I like what Cincinnati's done. They added Dexter Lawrence on the defensive side. But again, can you keep smoking Joe Burrow healthy? That's the problem.
No, that's not the problem. Problem is what happens as soon as you don't throw the ball to Jamar Chase.
Oh, yeah. Can't gritty.
we just saw. Didn't we see that in Philadelphia?
Yeah.
And they won the championship.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown, and sometimes it just doesn't pan out.
Yeah.
So Burrow's got a lot of pressure on him. He's got a lot of pressure. When you have a receiver of that caliber, and if you miss him one time, and then he starts acting a little bit like Donovan McNabb and T.O.,
Yeah.
you got a problem. That's why I still, something about Cincinnati. You know how you mentioned the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Mm-hmm.
They're a team that you like every year, right? But you always think they're going to come up a little short, kind of like your Orlando Magic.
Yeah. Why you gotta bring up that? That's
I see them being the same. I see them being the same type of team. I honestly do.
yeah.
Whatever, no matter what kind of roster you put out there, over the course of a season, something just seems to go wrong.
Can you? I feel like this year is like the AFC has good teams, but I still think it's going to be an NFC dominated year. I mean, the Rams are heading over here's the best team.
So you putting them like the domination of basically OKC and the Spurs last year. That's where you putting the Rams going into the season.
Then an AFC team comes and wins the Super Bowl. Yeah, probably.
Would there be any team close other than Buffalo that you would put right there on the same tier as them going into the year?
Maybe Denver when it's all said and done. But even I've got a lot of questions on Denver. Buffalo, like I said, I know they're the darlings in the AFC, but I don't think they have enough to win in Buffalo. Baltimore, it's the same broken record, man. I mean, dominate, get to the playoffs, come up short. It's going to be the same thing. You can come to me about the New England Patriots, but they've already had off-the-field issues to begin the year with the coach. They get A.J. Brown. Yeah, they look better.
They had a very favorable schedule,
but they had a very favorable
I'm just putting
schedule.
it out there, man.
But how many times have we seen it? It's very rare for you to have a great rookie campaign and have an even better sophomore season. It's very rare. Most of the time, those defensive coordinators have an entire year under their belt. They start throwing different looks at you. So then it's year 3 is when you take that leap. A lot of times year 2 is definitely tougher.
Take that leap or you don't. Has CJ taken that leap?
No.
Has Jordan Love taken that leap?
Bryce Young hasn't.
Bryce, actually, I'm going to give Bryce a little credit because near the end of the season,
played better.
The last 4, 5, 6 weeks of the season, he looked like a different guy. So I'm gonna be positive going into the new year because he did improve.
I would say there's really on the AFC side. I mean, you don't want to throw the Kansas City Chiefs in there. Mahomes coming off an injury. They got receivers, but we don't know if Rasheed Rice is going to be suspended.
They're Golden State.
Yeah,
they're the Warriors.
Travis Kelce's on his last year. He's done after this year. I mean, honestly, you and I talked years ago how Harbaugh was out in Baltimore. Then a couple years later, it happened. The writing's on the wall for Andy Reid. I think he's maybe not getting fired, but he's probably getting ready to retire. I think this may be his last year. Maybe he goes into another year after this. But I really feel at the end of this year, without a Super Bowl win, that I think Andy Reid just says, you know what, I'm going to call it a career. Travis Kelce's gone. They added Kenneth Walker, but it just doesn't feel like the Kansas City Chiefs that you were so used to in the early Mahomes years.
What's the guy? Is it Jones on the defensive line?
Chris Jones.
Got hurt a couple years.
Yeah.
It seemed like when he got hurt, their team hasn't been the same.
No.
And, people don't talk about that. It just seemed like ever since that day, his time came, they have not been able to get back over the hump.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have gotten used to Mahomes now, if you could ever really figure him out, because I don't know if you can, because some of the plays he makes is still miraculous.
Yeah.
But I don't see them. I see them more, like I said, a Golden State. We're watching them age right before our eyes. Kelsey is Draymond in my eyes. I'm not talking about the behavior. Just saying being around the wear and tear.
Yeah.
And they wouldn't be a team that I would have on my list. I wouldn't have them in my top 10 teams, surprisingly, going into the year.
It'd be tough for me. And then you don't know how Mahomes is going to play coming off of that injury. I mean, people say, oh, Adrian Peterson came back, stronger than ever off of his ACL, but not everybody's Adrian
I hate when they
Peterson.
say that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
They're two totally different people, man.
Exactly. But with Mahomes, yeah, he could be great again. He could still be good, but you just don't know until you actually get hit. First off, I mean, yeah, you can do everything good in the behind the pocket and everything, but you don't know until you get that first hit how it's going to really feel. So I don't get the Mahomes hype. I can understand the Chargers hype, but again, it's hype every year. I don't even buy Philadelphia hype.
Oh, boy.
I mean, the NFL just seems to be, let's put it this way, it's the Rams and then it's everybody else is what it looks like.
Jason Kelsey was smart like Bob Myers with the Warriors. See how he got out at the right time.
Exactly.
He saw the combustion. He was like, man, we got a ring. Let me get out of here before they completely implode to avoid the A.J. Brown situation. I'm just saying all that nonsense. So it seemed like every time we look around Philadelphia, they want people to trust the process. Damn, was the Flyers trusting the process? Every team in Philly is supposed to trust the process? At some point, the process needs to be redone. My goodness.
Yeah, I haven't trusted the process at all. Never bought into that. Give me your Super Bowl matchup. If you had to pick one right now, can we safely say that the NFC is decided for you?
I don't know who I would take in the AFC, though. Names right now, who do they have ranked in the top for the AFC?
Buffalo.
And no, who they have after those, who's the next two teams?
Buffalo, and then it is Baltimore, Kansas City, the Dodgers,
Those
the Chargers.
Are the next two?
The Chargers, the Patriots, and then the Broncos.
Okay, so
out of all those,
I'm going Broncos.
I would say the Broncos would probably be my.
That's my
favorite
pick. Out of all of them, I'm going Broncos. Man, look, I'm not a huge Sean Payton fan, but the man knows how to win.
He has won before.
And even like when he goes plays, he steps on toes because when he first got there, the way he treated Russell was really bad. But if we look at it, he was kind of accurate, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Russell's best days were behind.
Yeah.
And so this year, and then they quarterback, you just love him.
Bo Nix, I did.
Yeah. Is this a possible MVP year for Bo Nix?
He's got the.
We talked about all the other guys. Why we didn't mention him as far as for MVP? What's up there with Matthew Stafford?
Could be.
Going into the year, those would be my top two quarterbacks. Matthew Stafford and Bo Nix. We talking about an MVP voting. I think Denver is going to be better defensively this year. I really do. I think they're going to be a dangerous team. And they flying under the radar, which Sean Payton loves.
Yeah.
I could see. I would have Denver. That would be in my final. Rams.
Rams and Broncos.
Broncos.
And I'm going with the Rams on the NFC side, and I can't take anybody other than if I'm going off that list. I mean, I like the Broncos.
No, wait. Now here goes. Okay, so you're doing the okay. Why is everybody unanimously going with the Rams though?
Because there's a possibility that number 99 will walk through that door, and I don't remember a defensive line that had an Aaron Donald and a Myles Garrett on it.
Okay, so he doesn't come back, and then you're looking at Myles Garrett going into this year.
Nobody's been able to stop him yet.
But, I mean, the scheme is going to matter as well, whoever the defensive coaches are.
Sure.
They have to put him in the position to succeed, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I like the Rams, and then I think they've been getting closer every year, but they haven't gotten over the hump either. The only one, they did well. I won't say they didn't get over the hump.
Yeah.
I like McVay, but if you really look at it coming down to championship, would there be a better championship than that? When you talk about the coaches, McVay against
Sean
Payton.
That'd be an awesome game.
Are there any better coaches than them in the league right now? I didn't say equal. I said better. That you could just say right off the tip of your tongue, they're better coaches than McVay. And okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm going through.
You get Payton some credit, because Sean Payton is kind of like a Eric Spoelstra type guy. What'd you say?
Yeah.
And then we know what the other coach brings to the table, McVay, running up and down the sidelines with his team. He's another good motivational coach.
There.
When my coach running behind me like that, I'm going to score. I see him on the video, on the screen. He run. Oh, man. So going into the year, that would be exciting for me to see those two teams.
A Denver and Rams Super Bowl. Wow, that would be a really good one, I think. That'd be a really, really good one. There's so many questions that I'm waiting for preseason, which starts next weekend. I can't wait to see preseason because you get a feel for certain teams. And I'll give you my dark horse. It's an NFC team, and it's the New Orleans Saints. They've got Olave, they've got a receiving core that is deep. They got Tyler Shuck. Plus, they got a backup in Spencer Rattler, who shouldn't be a backup anywhere he goes. Yeah. He could start on most teams. They've got Kellen Moore. They've got a young and a good coaching staff. They got a defense on the rise. They got an offensive line that's improved. I think the Saints are the best team in that division, and I actually picked them to win the division. That's my dark horse team.
So that's your dark horse team for the league, though?
For the league, yeah.
Okay. And I already told you who my dark horse team is.
Not Detroit. Or is it?
L. Give me an L. Give me an I. Give me an O. Give me an N. And give me an S. Let's go, Detroit Lions.
I got to do this, man.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? Them Cowboys. Them Cowboys. Them Cowboys.
Lions.
Oh, man, the Cowboys. The funny thing is, we don't really talk much about the Cowboys because we'll spend a whole show on them.
Where do you have now? Wait, before we end,
What's up?
we laughing. Where do you place right now? Where would you place the Cowboys
In that division?
in the conference?
Oh, God. I've got the Rams better, Seattle better. I think I would have San Francisco better. Philadelphia, possibly better.
San Francisco. Ooh.
Healthier San Francisco team.
Man, what's their quarterback name?
Brock Purdy.
Yeah, so they got the same quarterback.
Yeah.
Man, that's I love you, man. We friends and all that, and we in Texas, but do you know how you're actually slapping Dak Prescott in the face when you continue to bring up, how can you even bring up Brock Purdy and Dak Prescott in the same conversation?
You asked me what teams are better.
Yeah.
I'm not talking about quarterbacks.
Well, but he's the engine, isn't he? Brock Purdy?
Give me coaching staff over at San Francisco than Dallas. They put him in better positions to win. I mean,
yeah, well, that didn't work too well last year, so we'll see what
it
happens.
hasn't worked for a while in San Francisco.
But do you have the Cowboys
Seventh? I'm going to throw a number.
Wow.
Seventh?
In the just in the conference. Wow.
Which puts them, what, a playoff team?
Barely.
I mean, barely, but are they better than the Green Bay?
Yes.
They are.
Yes.
For you, they are.
Yes. You already know I'm not in love with Jordan Love.
No, I know. But remember, take the quarterback position away. Go overall team.
I still would take the Cowboys.
Okay.
Because even last year, because Micah, right? Micah left where? Dallas to go to Green Bay, right?
Yeah.
And then, and I hate to say it, but he got hurt. We don't know how he's going to come back this year.
That's true.
I just think the Cowboys have more weapons. They've made some. Here's the thing about the Cowboys: they have a lot of players that are really good players, but they're not marquee players. I'm talking about on the defensive end. I think their defense is going to be a lot better. It's going to be upgraded from last season.
I will say that they will be better on defense. So
I just believe in
I'll
them
say
more
that.
than I believe in Green Bay. I just not a big. I don't believe in Jordan Love or the defense like I do about your Rams. I don't put them on that level. I put Green Bay as a mid-tier team. I always feel that way.
Do you think the Cowboys are better than the Chicago Bears?
Right now, I would say no, because I have the Bears, and for me, I got the Bears in the top 5 teams.
I have the Bears in the top 5 right now. As much as I don't like Caleb Williams, I think Ben Johnson puts him in the best position to win. So Xing the Caleb Williams dramatic talk that I always have on him. If he didn't have Ben Johnson, he'd be back.
Just the fact, Shemaiah, can you imagine 2000, August the 7th, we got Rudy talking about the Chicago Bears being in the top 5 with Caleb Williams?
We can erase episodes. Right?
I like Caleb. The only thing I'm glad is he didn't get to use my brother's name. But as far this might be his breakout year. If he, say the Bears win the championship, my brother's gonna have to revisit this meeting like kind of like the mayor.
Well, easier question.
What?
You asked about Dallas. They're not the best team in their division, are they?
I don't know.
That's tough.
Because who are you putting over them? Don't say the Eagles.
Honestly, I can put Dallas at 1. I can be convinced, but the NFC East is like the NFC South.
So you're writing the Giants off again?
No, I like the Giants' defense. I just don't know about the quarterback play. I'm still iffy on Jackson Dart.
Didn't this gentleman just tell me to take the quarterback out of it?
No, I'm talking about, I said take the quarterback out, but you said if I like the Giants. I like the Giants' defense. I can't trust Cam Scatterboo because he's doing flips everywhere he goes. After coming off of that injury, I don't want you doing anything but riding a golf cart, from your bedroom to your bathroom. I don't want you doing anything. But the quarterback play for the Giants is the biggest question mark for me because Jackson Dart can be spectacular, but he can also make a lot of bonehead decisions. Does Harbaugh?
You don't think he can reel him in?
I think he can. And if he does, you're looking at the Giants as possibly the best team in that division or one of them, top 2. The Commanders. We can't really write the Commanders off either.
As of right now, have you been hearing? Yeah, you got to put the Commanders in there.
Yeah.
But as of right now, have you been hearing like a lot of talk coming out of Dallas?
I've heard 0.
That's why I'm putting them at the top.
I will give you that.
I've always felt Jerry holds them back. When I told you a long time ago, when Jerry here's the thing, will he stay quiet? But when Jerry's quiet, this is how you want a team like to go into the season.
Yeah.
You don't want to put pressure on them. They're already America's team. So now they're doing it the opposite, they seem, finally. Taking the pressure off the guys. We haven't been hearing Dak being critiqued all summer and all that. It's a different team. We had the George Pickens situation, whatever. But other than that, it hasn't been a lot going on, right?
No.
That's how you want to go into the season. That's why I would have them right now at the top in the division.
I will not argue that fact. We haven't heard anything, especially from Jerry now. Not for the lack of trying. I haven't really followed much on them lately, but shout out to Sports Talk with Austin. This is number 1. We got more comments. If Philly takes the strategy of Magic's rookie year, the Lakers, they would be a huge threat, but too many egos. I'm talking about the 76ers. We got someone saying LeBron is the most overrated player ever. I know Derek can name a bunch of overrated players. Probably more than LeBron.
He's not, he wouldn't be in my top 30.
Raptors are winning 60-plus games this year.
Raptors?
I don't know if Kawhi plays. I don't even know who's going to play.
They haven't even finalized that deal yet.
They can't because, as it is, Kawhi got another whole thing with the scoreboard company. They paid him or something $2 million. I'm like, this guy can't catch a break.
I love that guy, man, but he's in so
much trouble. It's not even funny.
Oh, wow.
Derek Irvin, where will you rank Avery and Vinny as the best backcourt in Spurs history? That's from Tim Gonzalez.
Now, Tim, that's a tough one for me because I've been around since they basically were a team. You go back to George Gervin and James Silas days.
Yeah.
I'll rank them higher on the golf course because Vinny's a heck of a golfer. But I don't know. I was a Vinny Del Negro fan, and of course we know Avery hit the biggest basket to lead us to our first championship. So I'll put them in top. They're definitely in my top 7. How about that? For the Spurs backcourt.
I'll give you that. He also said Bella Fleming's birthday was yesterday. I had a birthday recently too. It was Wednesday. I didn't make a big deal about it. I don't like my birthday no more. I'm getting something about me celebrating getting old, man. I just can't do it.
My grandma's birthday was yesterday. Rest in peace, which also means David Robinson's birthday was yesterday. So belated happy birthday, Dave.
You know, that's why I don't celebrate either, because Dave decided to have his birthday a day after mine. Makes no reason for me to celebrate my birthday knowing that I have to, the Admiral follows behind me.
Look, I got married on my grandma's birthday, so I felt all special. And then I look up, and later on down the line, I found out my marriage was also on David Robinson's birthday. That's when I really got hyped. Ooh.
A lot of birthdays in the house, man. Appreciate everybody that has joined us. Again, shout out to Navarro Roofing and Salem Surround. You are part of the Salem Surround studios here at the Answer Now TV. And again, YouTube, Answer Now TV. Be sure to follow. You can catch myself, Derek Gervin, on Fridays for the Friday Night Drive or on Thursdays for the Thursday Night Delight. The best way to know and the best way to get that schedule is be sure to follow us on Answer Now TV. And guys, keep those subscribers are coming because we're growing on that Answer Now TV. It's doing fantastic. It's because of you that Derek and I keep coming back week after week to give you the best sports show that we possibly can, the best one in the city. Got any closing statements here? I've actually got a volleyball tournament tomorrow from my daughter. Shout out to my daughter, Derek. Got a text. She made co-captain of the team, and she made the libero. She's a libero now. So
go down and dig those balls off the ground. Oh, really? So she's gonna be getting on her knees. So that means she's gonna have. Did you buy for the knee pads?
Yeah, she's got all the equipment, man. She's ready to go. So tomorrow's her first official scrimmages are happening tomorrow. So shout out to her on that. It's
yeah, definitely, young lady. I won't say your name, but you're my partner, and still always be my ring the bell partner.
Yep. And the work that you did with her on the basketball court recently brought a tear to my eye, man. She's making more jump shots than I. She goes, Dad, can we play horse? I'm like, sure. Little did I know I almost lost that game, Derek. Thanks a lot. I appreciate you for doing that to me. Oh, man. But you got any last words before we go here?
No, man. I just think, first of all, it's been a great Friday, and the sports world is continuing to grow.
Yeah.
NFL right around the corner. That's an exciting time.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. NFL around the corner. NBA basketball about a month away. Training camp is coming up here. The sports world is about to be.
Man. My goodness.
We blink, but that's what happens when you get old like me. Everything just happens right away, and I'm tired of it.
Have you noticed it seems like they all blend together? You're looking at, you got baseball. Yeah. I don't know if that's age or whatever, but it just seems like now all these sports are coming at you so fast. Big three.
Soccer, I've been a big.
The soccer, the basketball tournament. Well, I didn't like how that ended, but that's another story. But I'm just saying, a lot of things going on. So the sports world is continuing to thrive.
It's strong out there. For Derek Gervin, it's Rudy Campos Jr. Remember, when you've got those sports questions, we've got the sports answers. See you guys next week.